Good morning, welcome back to Cleaning is My Therapy. My name is Jamie, and in today's video I am just bringing you guys along with me. The dogs want to go outside. A little day in the life. I know I've already done one, but we're doing another because I've got things I've got to get done that I cannot put off. I've got chicken broth and one crock pot going. I'm gonna let that go until tomorrow morning, and then I will get that one canned up. And I've also got deer broth going. I'm using the bones the deer bones from the deer that my husband had killed. I can't get my words out today. So I'm making venison broth. That's going to go until tomorrow morning as well. And then I will get that canned up. I'm seasoning all three of my cast iron skillets. And I got to clean my deep freezer out and my fridge freezer. I'm trying to get those a little bit more organized. And then I have a cabinet that needs to be cleaned out because some things got spilt in there. And I'm trying to get all the extra seasonings and everything off of my countertops. But I also had bought some little content baskets to put in the freezer for organizing it. I already had these three, and then I needed some more cleaning rags as well. But that's just some of the stuff that is just some of the things I need to get done. So I figured I'd just bring you guys along with me and show you guys how to save money and make your own chicken broth and venison broth. The same concept goes for beef broth and vegetable broth, but it is cheaper and it's better for you. So we're gonna get started.
A couple hours from Japan, would you stay awake? I'm losing touch of who I am when you're far away. And I feel like I'm running in circles around you. And I know I've been acting strange for a while, but I want you close, ooh, closer than before. And no one knows, ooh, that I want you close. I'm not overthinking feelings, I just need you to know that I want you close.
So now I'm getting started on seasoning these cast iron skillets. They have been sitting in my oven for a while. Last year I started to season them, but I didn't have them dry enough like I thought, and I put a little Crisco in there, and there's some burnt marks on my ceiling because that shit just went up in flames. So when you are seasoning and cleaning cast irons, once you wash them, put them in the oven for several hours on like 400 and just let them cook so they can dry completely. Because if they're not completely dry and you go to put some Crisco on there, you will start a grease fire, because I did it. I've done it a couple of times. So this time, once I washed them, I put them in the oven and I let them cook for like 4 or 5 hours. I made sure they were completely dried before I got started. But so I just used some Crisco. I wiped them down with it, put them in the oven at 400, and I let them cook for about 2.5 hours on 400 in the oven. So now I'm getting started on this freezer, and you guys, oh my god. So I'm sorry it took me so long to get this video edited and get it up. My husband decided to take a whole week off and didn't tell me, and we just spent the whole week in the woods. We went hunting. But when I was organizing this freezer and the other freezer, I was trying to make room for if we had got a deer, which we did. I got a small doe, and everything. So so yeah. We came home after we got home from the woods. Monday, our refrigerator went out. The bottom freezer went first. Because I lost a lot of stuff in that freezer. A lot. Lost a lot of our vegetables. I didn't lose any of the breakfast meats because they were still frozen because there was stuff on top of them. But like the vegetables and stuff, that thaws out pretty quickly, and I lost pretty much all of my vegetables from the garden. But our new fridge will be here soon, hopefully. But also, I got sick, and I am still trying to get better, but I do have some energy to finish this and get it up for next week.
On a run from my given disaster.
Okay, so I've got this freezer done. This is our vegetables. So I know what I need to buy now. This is all of the okra I grew from the garden and some extra peppers. This is like lunch foods and stuff. Popsicles. And then extra vegetable scraps for making like broths and stuff. My pig fat for adding into my deer meat because it is so lean. Some fresh berries. This is pulled pork. I've got 2 left. And then sausage and bacon and stuff like that for the kids. Well, for breakfast and stuff. So it is organized. I can find things. I know what I need.
So now I am just getting started on this other freezer. It's actually kind of small. We really need to get a bigger one. Eventually, I want to turn this into the fresh produce freezer. We were going to buy a new freezer, but the fridge went out, so we have to replace that first. But I'm going to get this organized. I need to take those cooler bags and put them back in my car. I put all of our frozen stuff, cold stuff in there when I go buy groceries. The ironing board I do need to put up eventually. And then in the other corner, I've got a box of jars. I need to go and get a tote for those and put them all in so I can put those in the shed just until canning season rolls back around, which come January, it will be time to start all of my seedlings and getting them ready for the garden. So, can't wait.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done.
I put the deer all at the very bottom because we want to eat what's up here at the top, because this stuff is what's been in here the longest. This is like an easy meal for the kids to make when we're not home.
Right now I'm standing in the corner. I see you from across the room. It's kinda crowded here, but I know you see me too. Everybody's singing oh, everybody's singing oh. I don't know what it is about you. It must be in the way you move. so old. You're looking so old. Now I'm moving closer to you, and it's getting dark in this room. Tell me what you wanna do. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love, baby, let me love you. Just say the word and we can leave this place. I'll take you anywhere you want. As long as we're together, everything we'll do. You got me going, oh, you got me going, oh. Now I'm moving closer to you, and it's getting dark in this room. Tell me what you wanna do. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love, baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love, baby, let me love you. When I look in your eyes, I don't know how, but it feels like I'm drunk on you. It's almost like you make me fly. And when I look at you smile, I don't know how, but it feels like I'm drunk on you. It feels like I'm drunk on you. It feels like I'm drunk on you. Oh! Let me love you. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love you, let me love you. Baby, let me love you, let me love you. Let me love, let me love, let me love you. Let me love you.
So now it is just time to get the cast irons seasoned up, and I season mine with bacon. I will fry up some bacon in it, and it helps with a good seasoning, and it makes it non-stick. And when I'm done, I can just wipe it out. I will drain any extra grease I have in a bacon jar, which there's like a little strainer in it, which will catch like all the bacon bits so that doesn't get down into your bacon grease. And I save my bacon grease because I do cook with it quite often. But they had been sitting in my oven for quite some time, and it was just time to get them out and get them cleaned and seasoned up so I could start using them again. I really forgot how much I actually enjoyed cooking out of the cast iron skillets. But I'm not going to show you guys cooking out of the other two and seasoning them. So I'm just going to show you how I season this one, and I just repeat it for the other two.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment.
Alright, so now I am just going to get these all canned up real quick. And I scrubbed out my sink really well, and then I sanitized with bleach. And then I boiled water on the stove and just poured into the sink because I needed something big to put my jars in so I can sterilize them. You have to make sure your jars are sterilized. If not, bacteria can just start growing in there, and that will make your family so sick. So when it comes to canning, make sure your jars are completely sterilized. So now I am just putting the broth into the jars. I was asking my daughter to give me some white distilled vinegar because that is what I will use to wipe around the jar lids before I put my lid on. And I will leave a 1-inch head space in the jars, and I am using a cheesecloth to catch any of the like little bits of the broth because I don't want all that in my broth. So this made about 5 jars, well, 4.5 jars of chicken broth. I put the other half in the fridge. But when you put the rings on, you only tighten them finger tight, not real tight at all. But I'm just going to finish filling up my jars with the chicken broth.
Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever.
But also, I'm going to do the same thing for the venison broth. I'm not going to show canning all that up. It's the same thing, same concept. But you're going to bring your stock pot, your water bath canner. I don't have a water bath canner. I have a big stock pot. And then I have a rubber piece that goes into the bottom of it. But you're going to bring that to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, you're going to set your timer for 45 minutes and just let it cook and boil for 45 minutes. And then once your timer goes off, you're going to turn your oven off and just let it sit there and cool for about 15 minutes. I let it do a little extra boiling while it's like cooling down for a little while, about like 15-20 minutes, and then I will start pulling them all out. I am going to say you're technically supposed to pressure can these. I do not have a pressure canner, so I have done some research on it. Pressure canners are so expensive, and I don't have one, so I am doing it this way, and this is when you're going to let it boil for 45 minutes to, some of them say 3 hours, some say an hour, some say 45 minutes. I boiled mine for 45 minutes, and then I let it sit for another 20 minutes in the boiling water. So also you want to make sure you have enough water over the lid.
Okay, so my venison broth is done. It's dusty. That's like after water bath canning it. But I got 10 jars of this deer broth. 2 jars are in the fridge because I ran out of these lids, but I'm gonna pop those ones in the freezer. And then this is my chicken broth. I took my rings off. How do you know when you have a good seal? You take your rings off, you lift it like this. And if they don't come off, you've got a good seal. But you always want to take these rings off, y'all. And I just learned this. My mom's been canning for years. And there's times where when you've got these rings on them, if they unseal, as long as these rings are on there, if they unseal, they will seal themselves back. And then you'll have mold and bacteria and everything growing inside. So you pull these off. And then, hang on. So just show you guys what I'm... Take the rings off. So if they come unsealed, if the rings are on there, if they come unsealed, they will seal themselves back. And then you have like bacteria, everything else that grows in there, which is not good. It's quite disgusting. And you don't want to have any bacteria or anything growing in it. So you always make sure these are all properly sanitized by boiling your jars. You can put them in the dishwasher because it's super hot. Do it like that. But as you can see, I am literally picking them up by these lids so they all have a proper seal on them. I'm going to put my rings up, and I have got chicken broth for cooking, and I have got deer broth for cooking different deer recipes like deer stew, stuff like that, that I can just pop a couple of these jars in there just to give it a little extra flavor. And then my chicken broth for like regular cooking. And so yeah, super easy, save money. And I don't put salt. I do not salt mine. I don't put no seasonings or anything. It's just the chicken bones and the vegetable scraps.
And again, I am sorry it is late going up. Last week, me and my husband took some time off and went hunting, and then I got sick. But I hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a wonderful Tuesday and a great weekend, and I will talk to y'all next week. Bye.